Colonized by billions of bacteria and other microorganisms, the intestine is not only a fundamental organ for the digestion and absorption of nutrients, but is also considered a true second brain. Bad eating habits, excessive use of medications, stress, infections, and various environmental factors are all elements that can alter the balance of the intestinal microbiota, thus compromising the health of the intestine. However, there are some foods that, thanks to their content of vitamins, minerals, and probiotics, promote intestinal well-being. But which are they? Let's go and see them. According to the WHO definition, probiotics are live microorganisms that, if administered in adequate quantities, provide a series of benefits to the health of the host. Thanks to their ability to resist the action of gastric juices, they reach the intestine, where they will begin to multiply, thus restoring the balance of the intestinal microbiota. Among the foods that contain a greater quantity of probiotics, yogurt is in first place, a food obtained from the bacterial fermentation of milk. Numerous studies have shown that yogurt is a precious ally of intestinal health, as it increases the presence of good bacteria in the intestinal microbiota, improves digestion, and strengthens the immune system. Not only that, yogurt also helps to combat intestinal inflammation, thus reducing the risk of developing various intestinal disorders and diseases. A recent study published in February 2025 also suggests an anti-tumor effect linked to the long-term intake of yogurt, which generally contains bifidobacterium. This effect seems to be attributed to the content of probiotics, capable of playing a preventive role against cancer through their effect on the composition of the intestinal microbiota and/or on the intestinal barrier function. However, not all yogurts are probiotic foods, as the bacilli contained within them are inactivated at the intestinal level by the action of bile. For this reason, in recent years, yogurts enriched with selected strains of probiotic bacteria have been introduced to the market. Another food with the highest probiotic content is kefir. It is a drink originating from the Caucasus, obtained by fermenting milk with a culture of bacteria and yeasts. The vitamins, minerals, and natural bacteria contained in it increase the diversity of the intestinal microbiota, a factor generally associated with better intestinal health. Some studies have shown that the probiotics present in kefir can improve the consistency and frequency of stools, alleviating the symptoms of those suffering from irritable bowel syndrome. However, it is important to introduce it gradually into your diet, starting with small quantities, for example, a teaspoon after meals. Fermented kefir-based products have also shown antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects against oxidative stress and inflammation, thus preventing the onset and development of various chronic diseases. Other foods that are high in probiotics include sauerkraut. Generally associated with German cuisine, but originally from Asia, sauerkraut is obtained by salting and lactic fermentation of raw cabbage. It is rich in vitamins, minerals, dietary fiber, and probiotics, which promote intestinal health and support the intestinal microbiota. According to a study conducted by researchers at the University of California, sauerkraut helps strengthen the intestinal barrier, improve digestion, and protect intestinal cells from damage caused by inflammation. Probiotics can also be found in some aged cheeses that are not subjected to heat treatment, as they would kill the beneficial bacteria. These include cheddar, gorgonzola, brie, and camembert. Other sources of probiotics include pickled cucumbers, apple cider vinegar, tempeh, a fermented soybean drink, and kombucha, a drink made from fermented sweetened tea. In conclusion, we have seen that probiotics are a group of microorganisms that work closely with the gut microbiota. When taken in adequate amounts, they promote gut health and protect it from potential inflammation and infection caused by pathogenic bacteria.